It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we're going to be taking a look at a can of Tiny Rebel Brewing Company's You Go Glen Coco. It's a coconut IPA coming in at 5.2% ABV in a 330 milliliter can. Hops, coconut plus coconut. Coconut IPA. Now, we all know Tiny Rebel love their adjunct-filled beers. I suppose it's who they are now. It's what you kind of think of Tiny Rebel is pineapple-infused beers and mango-infused beers, coconut-infused beers. So let's get this out into a glass, see what we get. A little bit of smoke on the can opening, beer in the glass. It's a one finger white head, slow moving carbonation, hazy looking amberish coloured beer. I'm not going to say straw coloured, it's definitely not straw coloured. It's got a little bit of a amber hue to it, an orangey colour to it. Let's roll this beer around in the glass and get the aroma then. I think a lot of the Tiny Rebel beers now, they all have this kind of slightly strange backbone of a flavour. It's a signature aroma, it's a signature taste that you expect from Tiny Rebel. It's a bit like a Marston's beer. You expect that kind of Burtonisation, that kind of farty water that is from the sulphur, the natural sulphur that's in the water in the Marston's beers. It's the Birmingham area. I never expected Tiny Rebel Brewing Company to have their own kind of signature flavour. And what is that signature flavour and aroma then? For me, it's a sort of weird aftershave-y type aerosol. It's a bit like when you get aerosol in your mouth. When you're spraying your armpits and you get a bit of aerosol in your mouth, it's that kind of, you're like, that kind of dry, strange, like it shouldn't be in your mouth type thing. Personally, I don't think it's a road that Tiny Rebel should be going down. But lots of people seem to like it. Lots of people seem to get on with it. Lots of people seem to enjoy it. So who am I to say? Who am I to kind of criticise? I'm just giving you my 2 pence worth, that's all. There is a lot of coconut in there. There is a lot of pineapple. It's like a pina colada. Let's dive into this one. Let's see what we get. Oh my goodness me, wow. Oh, it's terrible. Absolutely terrible beer. Oh, blimey. Oh. I just don't know where the craft beer industry is heading in the UK at the moment. I just don't know where it's going. It seems to be, certainly by a few breweries, it seems to be just going down the gutter. This is terrible beer. There's no crispiness, it's not clean tasting, it's not inviting you to drink any more of it. It's got a horrible kind of aerosol can taste. It's got a slightly weird, you know, where something leaves, you know when you eat too many bags of maize crisps and it leaves you with that kind of furriness on the inside of the mouth? Oh. You get a big initial hit of coconut, but then it's just nasty, just kind of off flavours flying around everywhere. Just astringent bitterness. Tastes very chemically, very chemical, like beer. Oh, it's dreadful. I'm starting to sound like a scratch record here, but Tiny Rebel used to produce some of the best beers that Wales had to offer. They were the Lochapolly. They were the Lochapolly. Polly's Brew Co, as they know today. They were the Pollys. They were producing excellent IPAs, world leading. Certainly not, maybe not world leading, but yeah, maybe world leading. Certainly for Wales, they were the pride of Wales. They were producing terrific IPA, and this is the reason they grew to the size that they grew to. And then it's almost as if they got to the size that they wanted to get to, and then they went, well, we don't like this. We're going to wreck it all. We're going to smash it all up. That's what it seems like they're doing. Instead of doubling down and producing terrific IPAs and terrific stouts and porters, and they're bringing out coconut IPAs that just leaves me completely baffled. Completely baffled as to the direction that Tiny Rebel are going in. No longer for me. No longer would I prefer to drink a pint of Tiny Rebel over a pint of Brains beer. So in South Wales we have now two major breweries. Tiny Rebel, probably producing more beer than Brains, and Brains Brewery, who are a traditional brewer who have been producing traditional beer in South Wales for well over 100 years. There was a point for a long time where I would choose a pint of Tiny Rebel over a pint of Brains, but absolutely now, after the last few beers I've had from Tiny Rebel, these adjuncty, weird, I don't even think I want to call this a beer anymore. If I walked into a bar and they had a Tiny Rebel beer there and a Brains beer there, I would go for the Brains beer, because I would know that I'm going to at least get some malt flavour and some tidy hop flavour and some balance and some order, some kind of structure as to what I'm tasting. This is an absolute mess. An absolute mess of a beer. And Tiny Rebel, I swear, if they carry on brewing beers like this, I wouldn't be surprised if they'd be major trouble going forward. Major trouble. This is terrible beer. Just complete mess. Complete mess. It's a 2 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. 2 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Just I don't know what's happened to them. I don't know what's happened to them. But I hope it changes soon. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers.